Hey there, Adrienne Elise here. Welcome to the Gaia Daily for April 4th through 9th, 2022. Well, we are coming up on some of the most powerful astrology in years, much less 2022. And so let's talk it through. We're feeling a lot of energy with the Sun, Mercury, and Chiron still close together, coming out of that Aries new moon energy, giving us the fire, the fight, the energy, the empowerment to get through this final stage of the battle. So Aries is about our life force, our I am, our impulse of action. And so a much needed energy speaking to putting our attention on the future and walking away from the trauma stories of the past. Now, really powerful because at the same time we have Jupiter coming into a conjunction with Neptune. This is a very rare conjunction that happens. The last one happened 166 years ago. So epic astrology here. And wow, the astrology of 2022 is so interesting because it's all conjunctions and the power is in coming together. 222. 222 makes 6, which is a number of creation. Co-creation, working together to create more than the parts. So we are being urged and pushed and demanded in our soul essence to take back our power. So Chiron is our deepest wounds, and in Aries, it's where we've given this power away. And this is the core issue of our times that we're living in. We're seeing now that we can't get into the Aquarian age and move forward at all in the future until we as humans, and especially supernova souls, claim our autonomy and our power back. Now it's kind of like, what does that even mean? And who took it? And why where did it go? I didn't even know I had it, right? This is the programming that you'll encounter when you go to take your power back. That it's not yours to have. You can't handle it. It'll make you go crazy or kill you, and yet this is the absolute key to where we're at right now. And the astrology is like alchemically coming together to empower us into claiming back this power. Now, so what happened is that throughout our evolution, supernova souls, we were tricked, duped, convinced, bought into. We're working together on these projects with these teams. Of course, we have our soul group team, but this is the nefarious forces that have been holding humanity back. And ever since, it's like they used that destruction and fall in Atlantis to make sure that the whole point of that was to make sure that supernova souls, advanced souls, never came into their power. And so there lie our precious, intuitive, and spiritual gifts that we've developed over many lifetimes and evolutions, but they're stuck under the rubble of shame going all the way back to Atlantean time. And that's when we got into this delusional situation where we were like, oh, it's up to us. We got to fix this. We got to heal this. It's our fault. We got to do something to make up for this fall. Putting us in a position of codependency and powerlessness, giving our power away. Now we're realizing that the lower matrix, the whole matrix reality, now this has gone on for thousands of years, that humanity has been at the precipice of further awakening, of spiritual ascension. And so much programming has gone into keeping us back on this threshold. But the astrology right now, and I'm sure you can feel it, is like the time has come, right? It's like you can't hold this back anymore. Nothing can stop it. And but we are a supernova soul, since we've gotten the message that we're here to lead the way, are feeling a lot of pressure, pressure around where our life doesn't fit our reality, but we haven't been able to see our way out of it or even know who we are. Just total confusion. This is because that who we really are might be still stuck under the rubble. Now, this is the power of the activation of the south node of the moon and the north node of the moon in Taurus, south node in Scorpio. Now, the nodes of the moon are about future and past timelines. Where are we going and what's keeping us back? So Scorpio is speaking to the hidden nature, the secrets, that are keeping us from our evolution. And there's a lot of them, right? I mean, if we look at the big picture, it's like we have been lied to on every level. I mean, it's a possibility that NASA simply is just CGI imagery. And that's not at all our cosmology. It's all designed to keep us feeling this small and insignificant and not a part of the greater universe, that we know there's so much more out there, right? So our whole history, our whole financial system, our education system, science, it's all based on lies upon lies upon lies. But the biggest lie, the only one we need to worry about right now, is the lie of you being insignificant and powerless. Because now we are realizing that a human soul and a body is the highest authority. If you have the body, you got the juice. And especially supernova souls, because the definition of a supernova soul is that you've had prior experience as a soul before this human evolution. So you've already gone through a version of spiritual ascension, right? You've already experienced other states of consciousness and light body. So this is a soul memory hidden deep under the rubble of the past. So this alchemical astrology right now is just so powerful because we've got this Aries fire, like, come on, let's go. This is activating Mars, the ruler. Oh, and then today we've got, and tomorrow, this exact conjunction between Mars and Saturn. This is really epic energy. Mars and Saturn are called the malefic planets, meaning that they can cause strife and problems and war, right? Of course, there's always two sides to everything. And what we're trying to do is rewrite the story, to claim back our ideal timeline, and that is Saturn. And Mars is bringing the fight to that, right? And so there's a powerful energy with Mars and Saturn together of determination and of a focus and energy towards being able to accomplish your goals, just determination. And this is really powerful for us right now. And the message is kind of like, supernova souls, I know you're exhausted, but it's time to get that second wind because we're so close and we're getting to the fun part. And I know it looks like all hell's breaking loose, but that is the result of one by one, especially supernova souls, but humanity taking back their power, taking back their mind, taking back their vitality, their life force. All that programming is designed to disconnect us from this power within us, our God consciousness. And one by one, as souls take this back, it's taking the energy of the lower matrix reality, is using our power as source, our taxpayer dollars, to create a whole bunch of nasty garbage again and again and again, war and destruction and poisoning our planet. Now, so it's like supernova souls taking back their power and autonomy is corresponding to humanity waking up to the fact that they've been controlled for so long and saying no more. So supernova souls, this is our opportunity to say no more. I no longer consent to my energy on any level being used for anything outside of myself that I don't have a conscious, is not in alignment with the highest timeline and my highest self and the divine. No, not playing. This is the most powerful act we can do, but we don't even really understand because, like I said, we're so programmed. And the main program is it's not your power to have. But supernova souls, for the most part, are operating at a very small percentage of their soul essence because you can operate on multiple dimensional frequencies. And because you bought into working on these projects that we really don't want to be working on, weird, dark programs and cloning and stuff like that. And it's like, terminate the programs, because simply now we know that we have the authority, and source, Father God energy is coming down and saying, look, you guys, your highest ideal, your highest experience, your destiny is really around containing your energy, right? And we thought we were working on spiritual projects for the good of all. And then we found ourselves stuck in a cage while they've cloned us, right? Like weird shit. And so it's like, but the energy right now is like, oh, but you don't know who you are, right? You're still landing home. But this is a powerful energy of these times, like landing home into who we really are in our bigger self. So it's been very confusing being able to, we're in between timelines, operating on multiple dimensions. And that's part of the message here too. It's like containing our energy means claiming our consciousness. Like this is our day waking consciousness that we have access to here in this 3D shifting reality. That means right now, I'm calling all parts of myself home, terminating all participation in these programs. And I'm going to, because this is the message also from creation source. It's like, it's time to bring yourself home right here. We can only do the work here from this consciousness. Why, the reason why they've manipulated us on all these levels of consciousness is because they don't want us to see the power we have as the boots on the ground. There's certain energies in this evolutionary process that cannot happen without souls in a body. That's why you're here. And everything wants to pull us out of our body and distract us from this. I mean, all of this Pisces energy over this last, it's been years, but really the last couple months too. It's like, you just want to run away and escape. It's like, oh my God, the world is so up and I just get me the F out of here. But we can't do that. We have to arrive. And that's the power of this, because we've got these powerful Neptune and Jupiter transits, Neptune sextile the North Node, trine the South Node. Just so powerful around accessing these different levels of consciousness and beyond the veil. But we've been programmed to fear that, So a lot of anxiety and fear coming up, being triggered. There's literally the technology that we're dealing with right now has the ability to target certain areas of the brain. This can be really helpful because if you find yourself back in dark, like heavy feelings and definitely fear and anxiety, it's like, what if this is just something, it's like you're poking the bear, this, and recognizing that we can put our attention back on the truth of who we are, not the state that we're experiencing in the moment. And this is the power, right? We can't take our power back of our life force until we take back the power of our mind, which is, Mercury, the sun, Chiron, exactly conjunct in Aries. It's exactly about that. Only yourself can free your mind. And that's where we are, because Aries is independent and wants freedom more than anything and will fight for it and will sacrifice their life for freedom, and this is where the deep wounds of Aries come, is when where we had to give away our truth, get off our path, not be who we really are in order to stay alive, and it's just like a death inside. Aries is like, right? What's the point? And this is what's brewing inside of us right now. And this impetus, this power to take back our power. Now, add to that Mars, the ruler of Aries, so super activated right now, is coming in this exact conjunction to Saturn. Now, for the last few weeks, we've been feeling Venus and then Mars triggering this Saturn square Uranus, the 2021 astrology, which is about where are the changes in our physical reality that represent the energetic shifts we've been feeling for so long. It's like, now Saturn has an energy of long held, like things that last a long time, like empires and rules and eras. And but Mars is a warrior. So when Mars comes into Saturn conjunction, happens about every 2 years. It's about the changing of the guard and the changing of the rule and rebellion and revolution and endings and new beginnings. I mean, it's exactly where we're at, right? And in Aquarius, it's like we're speaking to what needs to happen in our autonomy and the rules of our whole reality, like no more lies and deception, in order to move into the Aquarian age. It's also speaking to Atlantean time, because that was also seems to be an Aquarian age. And so we're healing the wounds of that, which is all about this one simple concept, right? So here we have the next set of programming that's kept us back for so long, that we can't handle our own power. It's going to hurt people, or it's dangerous, or it's going to kill us. Okay. So the first one you're going to encounter is, oh, it's not yours. You agreed to give this to us, right? It's like pay the piper, you know. This is powerful because a lot of times it'll come through ancestral contracts in ancestry, these power games. And it's like work through the ancestry. And it's like, we have a claim. You came into our lineage and we've got a claim on your energy, right? And so first you feed us then you can have what's left over. And it's this constant, and we don't even know we've been playing these games. We don't even know it's our power because we've been so disconnected from it. So the next message after, it's not yours to have, and then you're like, no, it is actually, you know, and the whole message of like, it's time for us to put ourselves back together and be whole and complete right here in this dimensional reality right now. We've got to. And so, but the other message is that that goes back to Atlantean time, that if you allow this Kundalini awakening and ascension, you know, if you allow these and release from the ego constructs and come into your God self, that you can't handle that power. It's too much. It could hurt other people or kill you. And this is the fear and anxiety. And this is just a natural place that we have to leap over and go through. It's the wilderness. And we also bought into this programming. And what if it all goes back to Atlantean time and then we're like rewriting this whole story? And so if you're aware of these programs, that it's, first of all, it's not yours to have. Other forces have a claim on it. And we went along with this. We have to understand this. Because I think we were tricked into thinking that we were working on spiritual projects when we're really feeding the matrix, you know? And so we have to be like, you know, it's all of a sudden going from that high priestess down in the gutter, this intuitive part of ourselves. And then she stands up, she's empowered, and she's like, oh, we bought into this whole story that we need them, right? This is just like our narcissist relationships. And it's actually, they need us as a food source. So how about we put our big girl panties on and pull ourselves up by our bootstraps and say, no more. Now I'm going to honor source and God and creation and tend to this preciousness. And so we've got to know it's ours in order to take it back. And then we've got to overcome this fear programming that we can't handle it, you know, because that's what you'll get the message, like, just like leaving that narcissist relationship. It's like, oh, you need me to protect you. You're not going to be, you need me, you know, it's like, you're not going to be okay. You need me to protect you from your own power. And it's like, you mean feed on me because you don't have a connection to your own source? Get off, right? We've got to, this Aries energy is giving us the power to see through these delusions and stake our own claim and say, finally, it's up to us. And we know this now, to contain our energy, to be whole and pull back from everywhere, you know. But as you do that, you'll get a backlash energy. And this is exactly what's going on. It's like we're wrestling the monster and to try to claim, you know, take back our timeline and the jewels and the diamonds, you know. But the astrology is the absolute perfect combination for this to happen for us. Because get this, Mars and Saturn together is just so incredibly powerful. But they're in exact square, coming into exact square with the nodes of the moon. So the nodes of the moon, again, we're coming back to this forward, back. We're trying to go for how do we get forward and what's holding us back, and the timeline and alignment. And it's saying the only way forward is for us to claim our precious jewels, this Taurus, Uranus and Taurus, the revolution of wealth and the cream rising to the top. And those of us who are connected to source still, it's only getting stronger and more powerful, more beautiful. And then there's those that are choosing to not be on the ascension timeline. And that's okay. That's their prerogative, right? But you don't have a choice because you are here for this. And a very important, crucial player. So now the square to the nodes is intense because it's like, first of all, we have the malefic planets coming together. We're talking about war, strife, change, taking down empires, starting new ones. And then in square to the nodes, it's like, yeah, because we've got to turn the ship around. We've got to move in a new direction. But there's tension there. And the tension is about South Node Scorpio, the hidden secrets, which is our treasures are hidden under there. And then the North Node Taurus saying we've got to have this revolution of wealth. For humanity in general, it means a new financial system, not based on stealing from us, like that money actually has something to back it up. And the true wealth of our world doesn't have anything to do with material, resources and a whole revolution. But for SuperNova Souls, it's about claiming the wealth that you are underneath that rubble and the secrets and the hidden past, and they don't want you to go there. So incredible tension around trying to forge a new way forward. But what's been keeping us from going forward has been the delusions and the mysteries and the this Pisces energy of like the veils and like when we go to access the other worlds, we end up finding fear and anxiety, the programming, right? And so, but now with all of this going on, Mars, Saturn, square the nodes of the moon, Mercury, Chiron, Sun conjunction, and then Neptune sextile the North Node, trine the South Node, and then Jupiter, Neptune conjunction. This is so beautiful, and it's about unlimited possibilities, infinite possibilities. And so the Jupiter Neptune is inviting us to go into the mysteries and past the fear programming and into the truth of who we are and get that treasures. And part of the truth of who we are is that we're co-creators. And so we've been deliberately programmed and held down and disconnected from this power because they don't want us creating our reality that we know we want to see, right? And then our energy's been going into creating the false reality. So we're being invited to step through the veil and see through layers of deception and delusion into the mysteries and possibilities, dreaming a new reality, dreaming a new dream. So incredibly powerful because the personal empowerment of the Aries energy, along with the no more, we're not going to take it energy of Saturn, Mars, Saturn, and square to the nodes, completely realigning this timeline, and the beautiful Neptune in harmonious transits to the nodes. And so, of course, Jupiter's coming into that as well. So powerful energies to slip through to the other side. And so it's that energy of like, all right, there's some life force available right now that we haven't had with this Aries energy and new direction. And we've got to, it's like, I know you're exhausted, but it's time to get that second wind and push through to this new reality. We're so much closer than we think. And it happens individually, one by one, as we recognize that we're not whole and complete, claim back these parts of ourselves, claiming back our power and taking back our mental ability, the co-creation capacity to dream this new dream, which is the original dream, which is the whole reason why we came here. And supernova souls have been feeling so in the recent years victimized by this experience, almost like we were totally tricked, you know? Like, and this is what I've heard with like weird off-planet dark programs that are going on. It's like, oh, you get a chance. You're so special and talented, and you get a chance to be a part of this, cutting edge thing, right? And it's like, then it's a trap, and you're stuck, just like we've been feeling stuck here. And that's where it's like we put our energy and agreed to put our energy into because we didn't know. We never would have done it if we saw the full picture, We never would have done it if we weren't traumatized within an inch of our psyche, So we've got to recognize that, yes, we gave over our power. Yes, we went along with it. Yes, we were totally duped. And now we no longer consent. And the energies that come at you when you do that, though, it's so empowering and it's so simple. But I can just feel this like surge of like whatever's left in the demonic realm to just surround you and be like, oh, yeah, you think you can handle it? It's like, yeah. Because now I know I got the body, and that's the power. Only if we claim it, though. And this is the deal, right? Is it time for us to clear all those contracts where we let other forces stake a claim on our source and energy? Why would we do this? It all comes down to that second program of like, you can't handle your own power. And if you have been programmed to think you can't handle it or it's not safe, you're going to leak it out all over the place. Like a hot potato. You don't even want to have it. And now we have to own it. So we've got to go through this threshold of the wilderness and face those anxieties and fears and programming and recognize it as such. This has to do with coming into connection and communication with a part of ourselves called the guardian of the threshold. It's like these false authority energies have played the guardian like, oh, no, you don't. That's not safe. You can't do it. You need our permission. If you do it and you don't have our permission, we're going to punish you. We'll never give our permission. And it's just like this really dark control energy that we've been battling with on all these other levels, but we now, so working through that and recognizing it as programming and how beautiful it is and how fully prepared you are as a supernova soul. You've already done this before, and they're telling you can't handle it. Why would you have these capabilities in your body and your higher psyche if you couldn't handle it, if you weren't here to use it? This is our God-given right, And so we're at this point, and it's like when enough of us claim, right? Say, break those contracts to say, oh, no, you don't. And it's kind of okay. Like we've been so traumatized. Supernova souls have been so traumatized because we trusted the wrong people, and we continue to do this in our life, And right now, it's kind of a time with this Aries bloom. It's like we want to take this opportunity to be like, yeah, no, I'm not playing, right? And especially around these dark things happening on other levels, and like when we're sleeping and other levels of consciousness, and being like, sources told me that my highest calling is to contain my energy and to come home here. I'm going to do that. And I'm not playing to be a bitch. We really, it's a time to be selfish and exercise boundaries. And kind of be like anything in form right now, for the most part, besides like supernova souls, but it's like for most part, everything around us is is being pulled into that dark agenda. Right? And that's part of the power of our soul autonomy as we claim this back. And the way you can understand this and conceptualize is that anything that's working an agenda is not working on the ideal timeline. So the only agenda is the divine timeline and the highest good for all. And to kind of just keep coming back to that, and that source Father has said, it's up to you and it's your destiny to claim your power. And that was where we got tricked into these programs, because we're like, oh, we're helping humanity. we're here to help and we want to help. And then it's like our energy was then being farmed for this lower reality trap. And now, like, the light of source is shining in and being like, there's no authority save you and me, like this direct connection. And the message that's finally bleeding through is that your highest calling is to contain your energy as sacred and make sure it's not playing out in any agendas. And as you go to do this, you're going to have the forces come and stake that claim, right? And it's kind of cool because it becomes really, really obvious, the deeper dynamics of the relationships around us. Being like, no, that's mine. And you're like, oh, no. Mr. Nice Guy? Mm-mm. The doormat reality of SuperNova Souls? Mm-mm. Watch out, So incredibly empowering because this Aries bloom of Chiron, Mercury, freeing the mind, freeing the soul, taking back that life force as who we are, our I am, our identity as I am has been hidden from us through the programming in the mind. And taking that back, and then Mars, Saturn, like willing to go to war over it. But in Aquarius, it's about moving into the reality, our rightful timeline, so it's a different kind of war, but it's about like that whole energy of not playing and the end of the empire of Draco control over humanity. The end. It's the end. It's going to be the end for you today, right now, if you want to say yes and say, I no longer consent. And then your new timeline can bloom. And I'll tell you what, it feels really freaking good. Energies that can finally support you and who you are. And you don't even know who you are, right? It's a lot. You got to go to battle. You got to claim back all this, do this, but you don't even know who you are or where you're going. And it's like you're just the fool on the edge of the cliff. That's a great place to be. Because this is what this astrology is saying. This epic Jupiter-Neptune conjunction that is so rare and so beautiful. And in Pisces, it's dreaming our way out of the nightmare and claiming back our ability to co-create, not out of agenda, but in that one true vision of what we all saw. The reason why we even wanted to come to Earth. We saw the original vision of what Earth was going to become. And then we got here, we're like, wait a minute, is this a trap? Like, do you want to buy an island? That's like, and then we'll put you there and you'll be quarantined and you are going to come help humanity, but you're in a straitjacket, And so it's like, basically, as each of us takes our power back in this lower matrix reality is crumbling under our feet, and you can feel that. And part of what's happening is like, even though it's still a battle, like we can see through the other side, this astrology, and it's encouraging us to keep going and find that second wind and stand up. And when you do take your power back, it takes a little bit, but your vitality and energy will come back. And most of us don't even realize on this low, like the amount, small percentage of our soul essence we're working with as SuperNova Souls, and then our access to life force. It's like we can't even really conceive of what it's like to be vibrant and alive and energized, to be able to move forward and create and take action. We've been completely immobilized. So we don't, it's like that whole thing. It's like, this isn't your power to have. And it's like, wait, why am I completely exhausted and I can barely move my body? That's because you're not. Other forces are staking a claim. Now, this used to be done energetically or on other levels, but now since the control energies are losing control, this whole medical situation is about trying to farm our power from inside our bodies. But there's simple solutions, and it all starts with this claiming back of our power. So this is what we're being asked to do, is to go into that place, that sacred space, the cave, the lodge, your sacred space, and to dream and vision and rest and see beyond the veil and be in that energy of co-creation of the highest ideal. and let yourself dream and live there vibrationally. So crucial these times, and also this beautiful opportunity to see through the veil without fear and to be able to dismantle those whatever's hiding your treasures and keeping the diamonds in the rubble, and really clearly breaking these contracts. And it's kind of like, I no longer consent. And then it's like, yeah, but this is all you know. You'll be all alone. You won't be able to handle it, And it's like, well, we've already done that, haven't we? Looks like we're handling it. And no more handlers, right? Because we're going to handle it now. We can handle our power because we've already done this. You just tricked us into thinking So this is just the alchemy of this astrology is so incredibly powerful. And it centers around Aquarius. Of course, we still got that, Pluto and Capricorn, Aquarius, Pisces, and Aries. It's about the death process and a rebirth, the ending of empires, the beginning of empires, the ending of that old decrepit timeline matrix that's falling apart, and the beginning of something new. And that's what we know. That's why we're here. We are the rainbow bridge. And this Neptune Jupiter is like, claim that. Claim the power of your visionary co-creation abilities and have fun with it. Take back that power, not just to have it. What are you going to do with it now? You're all alone. It's selfish, right? It's like, no. Because now I can focus on that determination to be in the vibration of the truth of what it is we're here to do. Not just play around in these lower energies for thousands of years. So, wow, incredibly powerful. Don't miss this time. So the exact time of that Neptune Jupiter conjunction is the 9th through the 16th. And so we're already feeling it. They're very close. And so for the next 2 weeks, and really we'll feel this all of April and into May, and also that Neptune sextile the North Node. So Jupiter also sextile the North Node. We're going to feel that through April and into May too. So the next few weeks, seize the day, and be present, and resist the energy to escape from this reality, and do the opposite. Invite yourself, like Source has asked us to, become whole and complete here. And an absolute disengagement of any programs that we have been a part of because of these delusions, and bring all of our energy back home. And just be here. Go to the cave. Go to your sacred space. Go to the lodge. And dream. Go step through the fear programming, recognize it as fear programming, because when you're coming back to this guardian of the threshold, when we connect with our own guardian of the threshold, our own part of ourself that we have set into place to keep us safe, then we can separate that from the authority contracts and the fear programming, if we're in connection with this guardian of the threshold. So it's something to kind of play with, and know that we have our own set of protection, so that we don't misuse our power or go too high in our Kundalini waking too fast. We already have those mechanisms in place, but in between there is that threshold place, the wilderness, where all that fear programming is. And so just know that that's there. And you can't find this fear programming until you begin to come into your power. And what I'm seeing is, from these current energies, supernova souls are literally just feeling themselves detach, completely let go of like this whole set of stories that have been repeating in your life, in lifetimes. And just like those personality constructs of who we thought we were, and those roles we were playing and all this. And it's just like this It's painful on some level to a certain point. It feels like being ripped apart, but that's not who you are. That's false. It's held in place by all this drama stories. And so at first it feels like free fall and you don't know who you are in that ego death, but then it starts to feel really, really good because you're making room for that source energy, the truth of who you really are. Right? So you'll always get this message that you're letting go of something. You're going to lose yourself. You're going to lose your mind. You're going to lose your reality. And it's like, no, there's nothing to give up, because who you are as God consciousness is so much more satisfying and full and beautiful. And you don't have to give up your individuality. You have your own DNA signature. It's so beautiful. This is why they've been doing everything to farm our DNA. Your own unique signature, your own unique faceted expression, fractal facet of God consciousness. And it's so beautiful and it feels so good. So just know that's just right on the other side. And so put your armor on, your armor of God consciousness. And, it's kind of like position yourself for this final battle to completely take back your power and energy and land home here for this beautiful experience of co-creation of the earth that we know we're here to create together and be a part of. So hang in there, SuperNova Souls, incredibly powerful. Don't miss it. And let's stay together and really take advantage of this opportunity to recreate, co-create, and claim back that ideal timeline, vibrationally, energetically. Just keep reminding yourself it's going to feel so much better on the other side. But you can't keep running away from that programming and fear and nasty goblins and demons, whatever they're using to scare you. We got to face it now. And so we're here together. Thank you so much, SuperNova Souls, for being here, going through what you've gone through to be here on the planet right now. You have no idea the anchoring of the light that you're doing and have been doing. And now it's time to be a more conscious contributor and making sure that our energy, by working only in this realm and bringing all of our parts home, and an absolute immediate discontinuation of dark programs and your energy being a part of it, so that we can fully inhabit and be a part of this experience, because that's the whole deal. We got to claim our role as autonomous spiritual beings in order to move over to the Aquarian age. So good work. Thanks for being here, and thanks for going through what you're going through. Keep breathing, keep loving, and knowing that it's just going to feel so good on the other side. And we're doing it together, holding hands. Together we can do anything. So I look forward to connecting with you through these times, staying connected. I'll see you on the next update. Until then, I'm Adrienne Elise. Namaste.